Never did I imagine I'd speak those words. Caught in a storm of doubt, anxiety, and confusion, I found myself saying, maybe we should see other people. My heart still belonged to him entirely. My love for him hadn't dimmed. Yet somewhere along the way, the feeling of being true partners faded. The certainty that we were enough for one another began to slip. When we first met, it felt like a moment from a dream. Our bond sparked instantly, effortlessly. His wit, compassion, and brilliant mind captivated me. And he had a gift for making me feel safe in a world that often overwhelmed me. We'd spend hours strolling, engrossed in deep conversations, laughing until our stomachs hurt. He was my trusted friend, my companion, my everything. But time changed us. I changed. Amid life's turmoil, I started feeling like I was losing parts of myself, as if the role I played in our relationship was swallowing me whole. I was always the one compromising, always stepping aside. He never asked me to give up pieces of who I was, but I did it nonetheless. I no longer knew myself. And I began to wonder if some space might bring clarity, might help me rediscover my own identity. So I whispered those words. Maybe we should see other people, I said softly, my voice trembling, like dropping a stone into calm waters, waiting for the ripples to spread. He froze, and in the heavy pause that followed, his eyes betrayed a whirlwind of emotions, hurt, confusion, sorrow. Yet he didn't argue or beg me to stay. Instead, he nodded gently. You could be right, he murmured. Perhaps we both need time to find ourselves. I thought I was being sensible, giving us both space to grow, to explore, to breathe. I believed it was the grown-up decision. But I was wrong. I didn't realize then that the distance I craved would become the divide that tore us apart. Weeks blurred into one another. He began going out more, embracing the freedom I'd proposed. I told myself it was fine, that this was what we'd agreed on. But deep down something shifted. His texts became less frequent, his calls shorter. Then one day, I glimpsed her name lighting up his phone. I tried to dismiss it, telling myself it was nothing. But jealousy crept in cold and oppressive, clouding my mind. I had encouraged him to explore, but now seeing him move forward, I felt suffocated. I wanted to take back those impulsive words, to erase them, to tell him I'd been mistaken, that I didn't need space, I needed him. But I stayed quiet. Pride or fear held me back, unwilling to seem needy, unsure how to repair what I'd shattered. Then came the moment he said, "I've found someone." His tone held no malice, no bitterness, just truth. He'd met someone who ignited something in him, someone who rekindled a spark I hadn't seen in him for months. I wanted to scream, to cry, to plead for him to choose me again, but I stood motionless, my heart breaking with every word. The reality hit me like a tidal wave. He had moved on. He'd followed the path I'd suggested, and in doing so, he'd found a love that made him feel complete. And I was left behind, wrestling with the ruins of my decisions. Regret overwhelmed me. I regretted pushing him away, thinking I needed distance to find myself. In my search for clarity, I'd let him slip through my fingers like sand. I tried to convince myself he'd come back, that he'd realize no one could love him as fiercely as I did. But the truth was clear. He no longer needed me. He'd found someone who suited him better, who filled the gaps I'd neglected in our relationship. No matter how much I told myself I was okay, the truth ate away at me. I wasn't. Reflecting now, I see our love differently. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. It was the kind of love that could endure hardships, the kind that should have been enough. But I let my doubts, my fears, and my need to rediscover myself take over. I let him go, believing space would bring answers. Instead, it cost me the one person who truly knew me. Now, I watch from a distance as he builds a life I once envisioned for us, joyful, in love, flourishing. And I'm left carrying the heavy burden of regret. I should have fought for us with all my strength. I should have told him how deeply I cherished him. I should have trusted we could tackle our challenges together instead of thinking I needed to face mine alone. But now it's too late. The damage is done, and all I can do is stand on the sidelines, hoping he's found the joy I couldn't provide. If you're reading this and hesitating about someone who loves you, don't push them away. Don't let doubt or uncertainty steal something true. Because once it's gone, there's no getting it back. No amount of regret can turn back time. Take the chance. Hold on to the love you have before it slips away. And if you've already let someone go, watching them move on from afar, know you're not alone. We all falter, but the hardest part is realizing when it's too late to fix what's broken.